In this video, we will learn about the Occam's razor mental model. The Occam's razor is a fundamental heuristic used in logic, science, and problem solving. At its core, it states that when we are presented with a competing hypothesis that make the same predictions, the one with the fewest assumptions should be selected. And so it is often summarized as the simplest explanation is the most likely the right one. This was named after the 14th century theologian William Occam, and this model is not really a law of nature that forces the universe to be simpler. Rather, it is a tool for navigating uncertainty. It acts as a razor because it allows you to shave away unnecessary complexity to reveal the core truth of a situation. So the reason Occam's razor is so effective is because it's rooted in mathematics of probability. Every time you add an assumption to a theory, you decrease its statistical likelihood of being true. For a complex explanation to be correct, every single one of its constituent assumptions must also be correct. If an explanation requires 5 separate ifs to align perfectly, while a competing explanation requires only one, the latter is statistically more robust. So in any field, complexity is often used as a mask for a lack of data. When we don't understand something, we tend to build elaborate narratives to bridge the gaps in our knowledge. Occam's razor forces the burden of proof onto the complex theory. It reminds us that while the truth can be complex, it usually doesn't require a series of miraculous coincidences to occur. Let's take an example in the pharmaceutical industry. Occam's razor is vital during clinical trial troubleshooting. If a phase 3 trial shows a sudden localized drop in efficacy at a single investigative site, one could hypothesize a complex biological resistance has occurred in a specific demographic group. However, the Occam's razor suggests looking for a simpler, more common variables first. Was the drug stored at the wrong temperature? Was the site using an outdated version of the protocol? Historically, many unexplained anomalies in drug manufacturing have been traced back to simple human error or mechanical failure rather than a fundamental flaw in the molecular chemistry. In other words, of the common medical adage used to train physicians, when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. So the goal of Occam's razor is to prevent us from becoming lost in a forest of our own making. Complexity is easy to create but difficult to manage. Simplicity is hard to achieve but provides the clearest path to action. So the next time you are faced with a complicated problem, ask yourself, what is the simplest explanation that fits all the observed facts? And don't seek the most impressive answer, seek the most probable one first. Another thing to also always keep in mind is that sometimes the simplest answer won't in fact be the truth. It may well be something that has a lot of other complex factors. So, not every complicated problem should be discounted. But Occam's razor is almost always the best way to begin to approach the problem.